Well, it's Webinar Thursday, and we like Travel Tip Thursdays, and we've had a first quarter of webinars, and we continue on with that because what we find is so many people like these webinars to watch them at a time that is convenient for them. And I would urge you anytime that you have a chance to listen to one of these webinars to do so. You'll pick up something good about it. And there's a lot of things changing and a lot of policies changing right now. So stay in tune of the situation on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is a big deal. We're hearing lots of good things that Europe is going to be opening up very, very quickly. The European Union, there's a great big article in the Washington Post about the European Union has had so much pressure put on by all the countries in the European Union that they're working on a plan right now to get the countries of Europe all opened up. France has already announced they're opening up in June. Greece has opened up and they're taking bookings for cruise or land-based vacations right now for this summer, starting June, literally. And we hear, let's see, Turkey, Iceland has already opened up. Iceland has been open up for a while. Then Spain and Portugal will be opening up very shortly too. So I think you're going to see a lot of things happen within the next literally 30 to maybe 45 days at the outset. And we expect to hear as quickly as next week, maybe even tomorrow, about some of these ocean cruise lines opening up, some of the river cruise lines opening up. So the world is opening up. Our business has been phenomenal, and you're going to hear from Jared Evans, our wonderful representative from Regent Seven Seas Cruises today. And we're going to, first of all, highlight a little bit about what people want right now and what we are seeing. There is no doubt about it. We have never in our 32 years of business sold more high-end, small, luxury, all-inclusive type cruise experiences and destinations all over the world. Longer, more expensive. It all is what the customer is wanting right now. What we love about Regent, we sell so much Regent that when you're looking at a vacation anywhere but on a cruise versus another cruise line, you really need to do your homework, or let us help you with the homework. And the homework is, don't be looking at what you pay for that cruise to get on the ship. Look at what you pay when you get off the ship. That is a big deal. We use the word value when it comes to that. We use the word all-inclusive. How does business class air over the oceans sound to you? At least to me, it sounds pretty good. That sounds good to everybody. So that's a big deal. And you're going to hear a lot about one of our favorite luxury lines that I think is going to lead the charge in the comeback of ocean cruising. People are going to want the smaller, more luxurious ships. There's just no doubt about that. They're going to want a little longer sailings. We see that happening even when they're shorter sailings that people are doing back to back and sometimes back to back to back. And that's okay. That's good. We can help. Sometimes air is included. Sometimes it's not. You know, if you have questions, hey, I've got points. Am I better off taking their air deal, or am I better off using my points? Is there a discount if we use our points? Let us work through that. If you want to stay longer, do a pre or post package before and after the cruise that's more than what the cruise line wants. How does that work? We can help you with that. There's never been a more important time than working with a vacation specialist like us, and specifically a cruise specialist when it comes to this subject right here with Regent Seven Seas Cruises. And many of you maybe have not thought about upgrading to a line like Regent Seven Seas in the past. Well, I hope when we get about 2/3 of the way through this, we're going to actually show you a value comparison that compares what you pay at the end of the cruise when you get off the ship versus some of the other lines out there. And I think that's a big deal that Regent offers. I particularly like Regent because of that all-inclusive experience, and I think more and more people want that. More and more people want to know what their cost will be when they get off the ship, as opposed to just guessing based on being nickel and dimed for drinks or for tours or for coffees, specialty coffees or whatever. So You'll find everything's included for the most part on Regent Seven Seas cruises. And we like Regent so much, you're going to hear about this in just a second. We're going to do the Baltic Seas, Mimi and I are, as a royal family trip, going from London, ending up in Copenhagen, spending 2 spectacular full days in St. Petersburg, one of the most incredible cities, arguably, in the entire world. But with that said, hey, Jared, I wanted to introduce you and say that the other thing I want our audience to know is availability is going to be a big, big, big deal in 2022 and 2023. And I know you agree with that, don't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate being here with you and, all of your clients who have joined us and anyone that, of course, will be listening to this at a later date. But yeah, I mean, we're seeing the exact same thing here at Regent. It's really, shows that pent up demand that we all talk about from over this past year and a half almost by this point for vacations that have been canceled, plans that you've had. So really 2022 right now is looking amazing, specifically for the Regent brand. And I hear the same thing from all of our friends from other cruise lines and of course from our valued travel partners as well. We're all seeing the same thing. It's great to see. And like you said, there's no better time than to book them now. And as we look forward, even beyond 22 and look at the 23-24 season, I mean, Regent is going to announce a new summer season launch, itineraries for the summer of 23, winter 23-24 come August. So only a few short months away, we're going to be open up all the way through the spring of 24. So that shows you the increase in demand and that, the consumer is wanting to continue to plan further and further out. And we just can't wait to welcome our guests back on board once we're cleared to sail again.
Well, and I think that cleared to sail is going to be coming pretty quick, and it's going to be welcome news when it comes. But the early bird will get the worm. There's no doubt about it. What we're telling our clients right now that are looking for 2022 or 2023, it's our strongest counsel to be making those plans now. If you don't, and if you wait, because there will be another wave of business come about as soon as the ocean cruise industry opens up, as soon as the river cruise industry opens up. Now, we're already seeing all the cruise lines, all of our suppliers are seeing fabulous bookings. And listen, let's be honest, they want to recoup the losses that they've made or they had in the last 2 years. So what's going to happen? Prices are going to go up. Availability is going to go down. The early bird will get the worm. I want to tell you, I will just be candid with you. I'd plan ahead as far as you can. You'll be glad you did. And when you see this royal family trip that we're doing next summer of 22, I hope you'll like that. I hope you'll join us, because Mimi and I, that will be a very special year for us. 33rd year in business, and I'll be celebrating a big milestone with a birthday that ends with a 0. So those are always big deals. So with that said, Jared, take it over. And then when we get to the royal family specific trip that I want to talk to everybody about, I'll take it over from there. Okay.
Okay. Sounds great. All right, Mark, we'll just jump right in and, we're just going to kind of cover some of the, as Mark talked about with what the Regent brand is and where we kind of fit in terms of, your next vacation and what our guests are looking for and where we've kind of evolved to as a brand too over the past few years and what we learned from our guests and what it is that we're going to put you on. And, no better time than now when you have ships carrying no more than 750 guests. We all talk about this and, you'll continue to see it more and more as these ocean cruise lines are cleared to sail is, whether it's going to be at reduced capacity or controlled capacity, socially distanced. We always talk about at Regent, even before all of this, was just our unrivaled space at sea. We have what we call some of the largest space to guest ratio in the industry, which allows you to really enjoy yourself, whether it's in the dining rooms, whether it's in the bars and lounges, whether it's at the spa or up at the pool deck. You know, there's so much space that's available for the amount of guests that are on board. And that's truly a value to yourself. And you have to factor that in. It's not always about the price point. It's about value. And Mark hit it on the head earlier. The big V word, the value word is what we always talk about. And, you know, we preach the same at Regent. And, you know, I know the vacation counselors over at Cruise Holidays do the same. And that's where we see it. We want to make sure that you're receiving the most value for the vacation experience that you're looking for. So we'll kind of just jump right into the presentation and just touch on a couple items here as we go through it. And then we'll kick it back and we'll talk, obviously, more about the royal family trip specifically. But when we talk about the Regent experience, we really kind of put it in 4 pillars. We kind of break it down by exploration, service, suites, and cuisine. And we'll touch on each of these items as we go through this presentation and how it, you know, kind of relates with the Regent brand itself. And the exploration side, of course, you know, we're taking you on a smaller ship into these more niche boutique type ports. We get into the areas that some of the bigger ships can't get to. We dock closer into the city centers than some of the big ships can't get into. So you're right in the heart there of wherever you're going to explore. And then we offer what we call our free unlimited shore excursion program, which I'll touch a little bit more on, which allows you to really kind of immerse yourself within all these destinations we're taking you to. And then also, you know, we have opportunities, what we call our small group touring, which now is more important than ever because you're touring with 16 guests or less on these same shore excursions that are in an inclusion. We'll charge a nominal fee for your own private, more intimate type experience. So you have choice, you have options. And again, that holds its own value. And service. The moment you step on board a Regent cruise ship and you're met with that white glove service and that glass of champagne, let me tell you, it just makes you feel like you're at your home away from home. They're there at every whim, want, need that you may have. They're there for you. And they're there to with a smile on their face. They're happy to greet you. And now more than ever, they're ready to see all of our guests and our family overall. So we can't wait to welcome you on to the next trip. The suites and the accommodations that we have on Regent. Again, the word is suites. They're all suites. You have a separate bedroom. You have a separate living room. You have marble appointed bathrooms. You have full walk-in closets, and you have a minimum of a 50 square foot balcony. That's where it starts. And then it gets bigger from there. So whatever it is that you're looking for in your accommodations, we can certainly find the right fit for you on the right ship for you as well to that destination that it's traveling to. And to top it off, what better way is there to cruise than the fantastic cuisine that is offered on board our ships? And, you know, there's plenty of dining options. Even though we're a small luxury cruise ship, we literally have two we have the main dining room, and then we have a second dining room that's open seating. We have up to 3 specialty restaurants available to our guests with no charge for those dining options. And then we also have the pool grill, which, you know, is open for lunch. And then even in the dinner, for dinner now, we've also opened the pool grill for a more casual atmosphere where you can go to if you come back from a late excursion or something like that, and you just don't feel like getting into the elegant casual dress attire in the evening. And I've been talking about dress code. We are elegant casual, so there's no formal nights, nothing like that. It's, you know, upscale, not uptight is what I always like to say with Regent on that side of it as well. So when we look at the inclusions, you know, every luxury amenity is included all the way from the start of our 2-for-1 all-inclusive fares to the free valet laundry service. We include almost everything on board for your vacation. So you can kind of look and see here. I'll touch on a couple of the big ticket items, but I mean, just to highlight a few: the business class air, the shore excursions, premium wines and spirits, the prepaid gratuity, specialty restaurants, Wi-Fi, you name it. We include it all. So to Mark's point, when we were talking earlier about, flying over the pond on your intercontinental flight, just picture yourself right here. This is how you're going to arrive to your Regent cruise. There's no better way to arrive than this, in the front of the plane, all the space, and you're just going to be relaxed and just ready to jump right on board. And so we're looking forward to having you on that business class air inclusion that we offer. Now, shore excursions, I touched on that as well. We include shore excursions, typically anywhere up to 70, 80 different excursions, depending on the length of the cruise, that are included. And then we have what we call those small group tours for a nominal fee. We have Regent Choice tours, which more in-depth type shore experiences. But you certainly have the choice, and it's up to you how you want to explore and go ashore. So you can certainly choose there as well. Destinations, we go to over 450 different worldwide destinations. So at the end of the day, there's so much to explore, so much to see, so much to do. Wherever your compass points you, we can certainly take you to those wonderful destinations. To give a kind of a highlight of where these ships are going to be over through April of 22 through May of 23, over the next year, kind of, that we're seeing where all of that business is really trickling in right now. The Seven Seas Splendor, which is the newest ship, she actually only had one passenger sailing before the pandemic. She was christened in Miami. We did one cruise over to San Diego, and then everything got shut down. So she is brand new. Still has the new ship smell, obviously. She's been laid up for quite some time now, but she's going to have her summer 22 season in the Northern Europe and Mediterranean area. This is, again, the royal family trip is on this magnificent ship, and we'll look at some of the suites and accommodations that we have there. But as you can see, the destinations and many overnights in St. Petersburg, to Mark's point earlier, a couple Panama Canal transits and so forth in the winter of 22-23 as well. The Seven Seas Explorer, which is the sister ship of the Seven Seas Splendor, she's going to spend the entire summer in the Med, with a heavy focus on the Eastern Med, the Greece and Holy Land areas, and, voyages ranging anywhere from 7 to 12 nights. So again, we kind of just want to make shorter cruises, a little bit longer cruises. We want you to be able to pick and choose what is best for you and where you want to go. And then in the winter season, she will spend in Australia, New Zealand, and Asia at the end of 22-23 with some great cruises there, including that October 22nd repositioning from Istanbul to Dubai. Another nice trip there. The Seven Seas Voyager will plan her summer 22 season in the Med in Northern Europe as well. So she'll have a very unique British Isles voyage that we're really excited about. It's different than anything that we've ever done, with 5 calls to Ireland, 2 in Northern Ireland, plus Portland, England, Liverpool, and the Holyhead in Wales. So it's another unique itinerary. Plus, we're going to do a little bit of that Cape Town, that Africa West Coast sailing. So round trip Cape Town voyages, and then South America season beginning in 23. The Seven Seas Mariner is going to focus on Alaska for her summer season in 22, do 3 Mexican Riviera voyages, a 12-night, a 10-night, and 9-night, which are round trip LA cruises. I've done it personally on Regent. It was on the Seven Seas Navigator, and it's no better way now than to go on the Mariner. A little bit larger ship, 100% balcony, great vessel to explore the Mexican Riviera if you're interested in that area of the world as well. And then she will also do some South America and then kick off the world cruise in 2023 as well. Our Seven Seas Navigator, which is the smallest ship in the fleet at 450 guests, she runs about 90-95% balcony. This particular ship will be focused on Northern Europe segments, kind of Greenland, Iceland on the first leg, and a little British Isle and a little Baltic, kind of just spread her out just a little bit everywhere, and then do a little Amazon cruise and then back to the Caribbean for the winter season into 23. So a lot of different destinations, going to all over the to different areas of the world. So wherever you want to go, like I said, we can certainly take you there, and depending on which ship you want to travel on. You can see the 4 vessels here. The Splendor is going to have its own highlight, which we'll touch here in 1 second. The one thing I just want to say about all these great ships, as I mentioned, carry no more than 750 guests. When you're getting on and off the ships, the disembarkation process is so much easier than when you're sailing with hundreds as opposed to thousands. We still have everything that the big ships have. We still have entertainment in the theaters in the night. We also have the casino that's open on board the ships. They're happy to take your money there as well. And then we also have our spa. So you're able to pamper yourself there as well. So again, it's everything that the big ships have, just more on a smaller scale, less people, but still having that large space to guest ratio that we talk about, and then the impeccable service and the luxurious suites that we offer on board the ship. And we'll take a walk through some of these suites and take a look here. This is the Regent suite on the Seven Seas Explorer. This is a one-of-a-kind suite on the Explorer and also on the Seven Seas Splendor. It's 4,500 square feet of pure luxury. Again, ranging all the way from 300 square feet to 4,500 square feet. Just truly whatever you want and what you desire. It's up to you. This is a look at the master suite on the Navigator. All these ships have completely been refurbished, as you can see in all of these photos. All new wall treatments. We have all new bedding, linen, furniture, you name it. It's all been updated. Let's see. Getting a little feedback there. Okay, and then we talk about public spaces. The Culinary Arts Kitchen is a unique experience that is on the Explorer and on the Splendor. So I know, Mark, on the Royal Family trip, there's probably going to be an opportunity, for anyone who wants to get involved in something like this. It's 18 individual cooking stations. You'll cook with the Culinary Arts, the executive chef on board, and you have the beautiful views while you're in there doing these opportunities as well. So something unique and experienced only on the Splendor and the Explorer. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier about the spa, you can see just beautiful spa treatments. We have all the treatments that you can ever think of. The ice room on the Explorer. We have saunas. We have fitness area. We have everything that you need if you're into that sort of thing on the spa side of it. This is a shot of the library on board the Navigator. All the ships do have a library available if you just want to get away into a little quiet area there. You can certainly see that. This kind of just demonstrates the space and the atrium and the feel on board inside one of our ships. You can kind of see right there. And the dining options that we discussed. This is Pacific Rim, so this is one of the specialty restaurants, our Pan American Fusion. She's on the Splendor and on the Explorer only. The other vessels don't have Pacific Rim, just to give you a heads up. Sede Mare is on board all of our ships, and this is available open for dinner. And during the day, it's open for breakfast and lunch. It's called La Veranda during those hours, and then it's Italian cuisine in the evening. Open seating, as I mentioned earlier as well. The Explorer and the Splendor also have chartreuse, and chartreuse is also available on the Voyager and Mariner, just not on the Navigator. So chartreuse is our modern French cuisine that's available on board our ships. And then you have Compass Rose, which is the main dining room. Truly my favorite, just a whole wide variety of everything that you could ever imagine. You can customize your own menu. There's also the chef selections, of course, for the day. But here you can see you have plenty of space. These tables can be arranged from 2 tops all the way up to 8 tops, depending on who you're traveling with. So a lot of choice there. And then by far another favorite on board all of our vessels is the Prime 7, our Steakhouse at sea. So Being a Midwest boy myself, I do enjoy this Steakhouse in Prime 7, everything USDA beef that is served, nice surf and turfs, and wonderful desserts as well. So definitely check that out if you are into that sort of thing with the Steakhouse options. And then, of course, you have the pool bar and the pool grill as well. Spent a few hours logged here at the pool bar myself on most of my voyages, time or two. And then we'll jump right into 7 Seas Splendor here. So look at the Splendor. Like I said, it's the sister ship to the Explorer. This kind of just gives you an idea by numbers where we're at with this particular ship. 55,000 tons, but only 750 guests. That's tremendous space to guest ratio. And then all the amount of crew that we have on board to service those 750 guests. So not only space to guest, but crew to guest ratios, top notch, which equates to that impeccable service that we provide on board the ship. So we'll touch right here and flip this over to Mark to talk about the Royal Family trip, and then we'll go into a few of the specific suites and what those look like on the 7 Seas Splendor. As you've seen some of the accommodations that we have currently, and the rest of the fleet, we'll highlight some of the ones here on the Splendor as we talk about the Royal Family trip in 2022. Back to you, Mark. Hold on one second, Mark. I can't hear you, and I think I got to turn it. There you go. You got it?
I think that should be it.
There you are. I can hear from you.
There we go. Good. Hey, really, this is something that Mimi and I started planning, gosh almighty, 3 years ago. We definitely saw the fact that our clients were upgrading their experience, that they were getting to the stage of life, like Mimi and I, that wanted something better. And when you go on vacation, you do want something better. And this is so cool. We've been to this destination, but my gosh, it was 20 some odd years ago. I think 23 or 24 years ago. And it was spectacular. It's still, those experiences of those Baltic countries are second to none. The cleanliness, the people are so nice for the most part everywhere we go. And of course, you got all that Viking history. If you're like me, you love history, but the cultural part of this is just huge. And we have a lot of people that are into doing vacations going back to their heritage countries, where great grandparents were from, or great grandparents for that matter. In some cases, just parents from. But a lot of us have Northern European heritage. So this is so cool. And I'll never forget the time that we were in St. Petersburg. That's why I had them put this picture on the start of the flyer, because oh my gosh, it's second to none. So look at the time frame. We start on August 7th, and you all know what the weather's like in the Midwest here in August. So this is going to be the perfect time to be gone. And we'll do a little bit of a pre-package. You see that we start in London, we end up in Copenhagen, but we're working on a trip with Jared right now to go into the to see the must-sees, the crown jewels, things like that. He's got a private tour of the crown jewels, and that's kind of fun too. But I've had several of our clients, me included, that want to go to the Cotswolds. We've heard so much about that. Haven't been there. It's just right outside of London, not too far. So we're putting all that together, and we'll have that for you just as soon as we get it. Here's one of the benefits. We have the new ship. When we started 3 years ago, we had the Explorer. Nothing wrong with that at all. But during this point, during this delay, we ended up with a new ship. So we have gotten an automatic upgrade on the ship. So Jared, are you controlling the slides? Can you go to the next one?
Yep.
Yeah, just I mean, I gotta tell you, who's not going to be happy with this, right? And when we get down to the end of the presentation, we're going to talk to you about a couple of the 2-category upgrade things that we have. And we've got the best deal is if you buy one of the concierge packages and get upgraded to the penthouse suite. Woo! Life is good. That's about a $3,600 value while this promotion is going on. So all of their accommodations are really special. This is just extra special. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, and what things we'll kind of go through each of these accommodations, but you know what's really nice here in this penthouse suite is having this separation right here with this pocket door, so that creates true separation for you there as well.
Is that for the couples that maybe one likes to stay up later than the other, and so like Mrs. Comfort can go to sleep and not hear me out there, or when I come in, and if I'm too late, I sleep on the couch. Go ahead with
exactly right.
the Superior Suite.
Yeah, so onto the Superior Suite. When we look at this accommodation here, so the Superior Suite is basically going to be your categories F1 and F2. So this layout right here is an F2, which when you talk about the lead-in categories, you have H, you have G1, G2, and then you go F2, F1, and the Concierge Suite. So this is the exact layout from Concierge D to F2 Superior Suite. They all look like this particular layout right here. And why I like this shot here is because right here is the full length of the walk-in closet. Okay, so you just come right here, and that's a whole walk-in closet right behind this bed. But then you have your whole sitting area over here. The TV comes off the wall right here and kind of hinges out so you can lay there. And the bed faces the balcony, and you can look right out and see out to the ocean. It's just amazing. And then your bathroom, of course, is right when you walk in, which we'll take a look there in this next shot, as you can see. This is the bathroom on a cruise ship. Okay, this isn't some boutique hotel that I'm showing you. This is literally in your suite. Right here, you have the separate shower and tub, and then there's a glass enclosed shower right here, the double vanity, and look at all the drawer space that you have in here as well. So, you know, Mimi's gonna enjoy all of these drawers. You might have one drawer over here, Mark, for your items, but
yeah, maybe if I'm lucky. Maybe if I'm lucky. That looks like the Four Seasons or St. Regis right there. Wow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a beautiful all marble appointed bathroom, so they're wonderful. And when we go and we'll take a shot of those deluxe veranda suites that we talked about, the H's, the G1, the G2s. I mean, it doesn't get it. This is the lead-in category. I mean, you have the separate living room, you have your bedroom. The only difference is your bedroom or your bed does not face your balcony. It faces, you know, forward or aft. The closet is going to be a little bit different configuration, and the bathroom's a little bit different. So here's a shot of the bathroom. It's just a glass enclosed shower. You don't have the tub option or the tub and shower combo, if you will. It's going to be a floating vanity as opposed to, you know, just because of the layout and the configuration in there. So, and again, it depends what is most important to you, whether it's in the accommodation on the ship, you know, the itinerary that you're going on. And that's what the beauty of having a vacation counselor at Cruise Holidays, to make sure they get the right fit for you and what you want.
Well, if I can go over this itinerary with everybody, you know, the other reason why we pick any kind of royal family trip that Mimi and I host is obviously number one in this case is the itinerary, at least to me. Jared would rather hear me say we picked Regent as our number one priority, and then the destination is number two. But let's just say it was a tie, okay? So I really do like this. And while it's changed just a little bit, maybe a couple of ports of call, there have been a couple of add-ons that I think is just fabulous. And forgive me, because I'm one of those snobby country counters. I had a friend of mine ask me many years ago when I had about 88 countries that I had been to. And so as I have traveled, I'm now up to 103. But when I get to Latvia, I've not been to Latvia, so I'm excited that get me to 104. Hey, but London, you know, what an easy place to fly to. That's number one. Lots of options. We'll do an optional, probably 4-night, maybe 3-night. We're not. If we go to Cotswolds, it'll be 4, maybe 5 nights to start off the trip, and then as you see on August 7th, we'll embark And by the way, one of the things that we'll do on this tour is go as we head from Cotswolds back to London down to Southampton, I believe it is where the ship is. Yeah, Southampton. We will go to Stonehenge. I've been to Stonehenge before, but that's fascinating, absolutely fascinating if you've not been there. Then we'll cruise the North Sea. And by the way, the new ships, the one thing everybody should be aware of, they're also some of the most stable ships because they got the most state-of-the-art stabilizers going on. I think that's important because sometimes the North Sea can be quite wild. And Skagen, Denmark, I've not been to, but I'm looking forward to go to some of these places. Oslo, Norway, I have been to. I loved Oslo, Norway. I think that's so cool. Then, as you see on the map, we go and we cruise into the Baltic Seas. And the cruising time is really important because that's when we rest, relax. That's when we have a chance to go to the spa and work out a little bit and do some of the things you always want to do. I love those saunas. You know, the Northern Europeans, the Scandinavians, they're really big into saunas, and so we'll be. I'll lead the sauna tour. Maybe I'll lead the spa tour. But then we go to Tallinn, Estonia, and I don't know if you've never been there. I think this is going to be one of your surprise stops. I have been there. There's a gigantic walled city that is still very, very much intact, and the inside of Estonia is just absolutely charming and medieval as can be. So that's going to be probably from an expectation point of view, a tremendous surprise to everybody. Then those 2 full days in St. Petersburg, and I think maybe arguably, but probably 98% of the people that if you've never been to St. Petersburg, or even if you have, like I have been, you're going to be able to see the things that you didn't see last time. The first time, if you're there, in my humble opinion, you've got to go to the Hermitage. Catherine the Great's arguably the most incredible museum in the world right now, but at that time, palace. Peter the Great has a couple of fabulous palaces there too that I didn't see. I focused my energy the last time I was there on Catherine's palaces. This time I'm going to focus my historical touring to Peter the Great's. And hey, Jared, talk just a minute. Here's one other benefit about small ships. Remember when Jared said that the smaller ships can get to different destinations? Not only different destinations, they can get to different docking places compared to some of the big ships, right, Jared?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at, you know, when you talk about getting into, you know, the city center or into that area where you want to dock right close, there again, Mark, that's all about part of your time, right? So the time to that you get there to get off the ship, to get into that city center, that's all time that comes away from you. Where you're on a smaller ship, you're able to get right there, less people, get right off and begin exploring immediately. So that holds its own value just right there.
No, it absolutely does. And St. Petersburg is one of those places that you'll find the big ships have to go out and dock in the deep water harbors, which are in many cases 45 minutes away from the historic downtown. Okay, moving on though from St. Petersburg, we'll help everybody with the tour options. And I tell you what, there's just so much to do. But Helsinki, Finland, again, is one of those fabulously historic places. I remember the rock church there when we were there before, and it had gained a worldwide architectural award for the most unique architectural design in the world. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, the Finns have been voted many, many years, the Finnish people, as the happiest people in the world. So we'll go find out why they are so happy. Is it the vodka, or do they have some of that medical marijuana stuff? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe it's just that the couples are just beautiful people and happy people. Who knows? Going to Stockholm, I remember the first time there, that was my favorite stop of our whole trip. And you know how you remember specific days and specific times of just cruising? That night that we left Old Town Stockholm and we were cruising out through the archipelagos was one of those perfect perfect nights of cruising. And when I say nights, it was actually dusk when the sun was setting. And I want to tell you, I had my mom and my stepfather with me, and one of the best memories of cruising with my mom and stepfather was that night, was that very, very night cruising out of Stockholm. So I have very, very fond memories of Stockholm. And, you know, there's so much Viking history. If you're into Viking history, you're going to learn a lot and get a lot out of this area. Now, you know, I told you Tallinn, Estonia might be the most the stop that will exceed your expectations more than any of them. The other place, which I'm so pleased that we're on day 18 or day 13, excuse me, when we stop in Visby, Sweden. Visby is a little island out in the middle of the Baltics, right off the coast of Sweden. And I want to tell you, very medieval, very, very quaint's the best word I can use. Oh my gosh, nobody knew what to expect with Visby, and it was one of those places that we didn't want to leave when we left there. And it's also a vacation destination for the northern Europeans. So it's got beautiful beaches, as well as, I mean, you know about history. It's got a lot of history. They found old coins and tools there over 5,000 years old in Visby. So that's going to be a place you've never heard of. I promise you, most everybody watching today or going with us will never have been to Visby. But this is one of those places you can say to most of your friends, if you're into, you know, one-upping your friends. You know, my favorite port on this whole Baltic Seas cruise was Visby, Sweden. Have you ever been there? And 99.9% of your friends will go, I don't even, never heard of Visby, and you're going to love it. So we end up in Copenhagen, and many of you maybe have been to Copenhagen. One of the things I like to do when I go back to a place that I've been to before, like I told you about Oslo or St. Petersburg, is to go do the things that you didn't have a chance to do the time before, or take a little free time for yourself, because again, the Norwegians in that beautiful area of in this case, Copenhagen, is spectacular. The Tivoli Gardens there is, oh my gosh, just absolutely beautiful. You know, the Scandinavians are really big into green space and really big into outdoors beauty and parks and things like that. And I think you'll just be amazed at how clean and how beautiful. And frankly, you know, I remember a couple things about the people of the Baltic Seas area. And my wife's not here with me right now, so don't tell her I said this. I just remember the tall, beautiful, blonde women. Now remember, I was 28 years younger then. I still remember those tall, beautiful, blonde women. Gosh almighty. And I also remember how friendly everybody was in that area. They were so friendly. So with that said, gosh, what a great itinerary. I think, you know, I think this is better maybe than the itinerary that we first had to start off with. And Jared, I like the picture there of the River Thames and the Big Ben and, you know, all those gorgeous pictures. So there's history, there's culture, there's scenery. I mean, this kind of has it all, doesn't it, Jared?
Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, it's just all of the wonderful places that you can visit just on this one itinerary, and the amount of time that we allow you to spend there with, you know, to be able to really indulge yourself and be able to experience these wonderful destinations through, you know, our shore excursion program. And then of course, going with a group in this royal family trip. You know, if you're not experienced, or this may be one of your first trips, or, you know, first time into this area of the world, I mean, who better than to go with than someone that's already been there and has experienced this, and will take you and show you and point you in the direction of where you need to go. And then of course you have the comfort and the cruise line itself that's, you know, taking you on these trips, and you're being able to do it in a small group version, or if you want to do it, you know, with a larger group, or, you know, doing a morning tour and doing an afternoon tour. We don't limit you to that either. So it really gives you the full experience to really indulge and enjoy yourself and immerse within this wonderful area of the world.
Well, it is. absolutely. There's just no doubt about it. It's an area of the world that you, whether you've been there once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, will enjoy, because there's always something more to see or do. And Jared, I don't know, I'm really excited. The other thing is we all know that it's hot as can be, hot as Hades here in August. So it'll be, that part of the world will probably be in the mid 70s, mid to low 70s. That sounds pretty nice right there itself. Jared, go ahead and go over everything that's included, because I think this is really, really important for people to see, because I want you all to remember what I said at the very beginning. It's what you pay when you get off the ship. So if you go back for those all-inclusive features, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, just to kind of recap the all-inclusive value just of the Regent brand itself. I mean, when you look at it, it's all in. So the prices that you're going to see that are advertised from the flyer that Mark has, and as we discussed through the end of this here presentation, but just keep in mind a few items here. We have the business class air that's going to be included on this trip. So that's already factored into the price point. To Mark's point earlier, if you have miles or something like that, we can pull that business class out, and we can give you the air credit for that business class air, which I believe is roughly around $2,500, I want to say, on this specific voyage. So $2,500 air credit comes off of the cruise fare that you see. And then, like I said, the transfers, if you take our air program, are going to be included. And the land packages and things like that we add on, there'll be additional costs, but there's certain other inclusions there as well that we can go over and discuss. Also, the shore excursions, I continue to point out. Beverages, I mean, at the end of the day, whether it's premium wines, spirits, you name it, it's all included for those beverages. If you're not even, a drinker, like I think, Mark, you even said it earlier, the specialty coffees, the bottled waters, the sodas, milkshakes, Gatorades. I mean, anything that you can come up that you're drinking, these other cruise lines are charging for it, and it's all included on Regent. So, whatever it is, we have it, it's there for you. And it's not, a lot of cruise lines will also include the wines and spirits with dinner. This is anytime during the day. Whenever, if you want to wake up and have a mimosa on your balcony with your room service breakfast before you get off the ship and go explore, you can do that. If you want to come back and after dinner and, maybe you want to enjoy a scotch and a cigar, you can do that. I mean, it just depends what you want. You're able to do it wherever you want, when you want, and how you want to do it. So that's the beauty of that. And then the bars and lounges, of course, as we mentioned, those are going to be fully stocked. Same thing goes. Your in-suite minibar is replenished daily. So it's another nice feature, when you're on board the ship, whether it's you want to make a cocktail in your suite before you go out to dinner, we'll send you up a bottle of Grey Goose if that's your thing. If you, enjoy a wine during dinner, and you're like, wow, this is amazing, can you please send a bottle to my suite? I want to enjoy, after dinner on my balcony and sip that wine. We'll send that up to your suite, and you have your bottle of wine. It just allows you to really everything. And then the gratuities, as I mentioned, specialty restaurants, there's no charges for. The Wi-Fi is included on board the ship. The newest one is valet laundry services. That's going to be included as well. So pressing, laundering, obviously, and then they'll bring it back to your suite for you. So you don't even need to worry about that either. So it's a little bit of everything all kind of into one. So looking at the actual price breakdown here, Mark, if you want to just kind of touch on that as well.
Yeah, we have categories available in all of these categories for if you're interested. But if you do look at this, pricing is based per person on double occupancy. There are other categories here, and we can show you that. But there are these upgrades right now that if you take advantage of these, there's 2 category upgrades. So Lynette was the group coordinator on this, was saying, Mark, do you know if they book that concierge suite D, they can get a penthouse suite A, and it's $3,600 value? So, I mean, That's pretty sweet. So I'd say spend your kids' inheritance, and that's what I'm going to do anyway with this. So the values are there, but again, you look at these price points, and sometimes people go, "Oh boy, wow, that's a little higher than I thought." But let's talk again about, you know, all the things that are included from basically everything. The free night cruise hotel package. We'll do one a little longer than that, but we'll stay at that same hotel to get that one night. The $400 shipboard credit per suite, you can use that for the spa or whatever it is that you'd like to use it for. Jared has been kind enough to waive the air gateway fee that normally is $249 per person out of Kansas City. So that's also a very big benefit. And then if you add the business class air, or take the business class air out of this as you're looking at these prices, you know, even though they'll give you credit of $2,500 if you have points or want to use your own air, that's fine. But you know, business class air is going to cost you probably double that. So you think about $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 depending on when you book and where into London and back home from Copenhagen. That's an incredible inclusion. So Jared, you might, is the next slide the one that shows the value? I really think that's important. Oh, the deposit's just 15% of the total fare. So you just give us credit card for that if you're interested, and final payment is not due till March 25th of 2022. Okay.
And one thing I wanted to add on that before we go into the value comparison chart is the deposit during this 2-category upgrade promotion. If you book while the 2-category upgrade promotion is still available, which one thing to point out on that is the booking window is through June 30th, book by June 30th. However, at any point in time, the revenue management department can pull this promotion. We're reviewing them every 2 weeks. And as the sailing continues to fill, we will pull that promotion. So as of right now, it's still available the next time that it's reviewed, and the next pull date would be May 31st. So we have still almost 2 weeks, which kind of goes in line with another promotion we're going to show you. But the one thing I was going to say is with that, there's a 50% reduced deposit. So right now it's only 7.5% if you book under this promotion. So less money up front, and then your final payment is still due on that March 25th, 2022 date. So not only do you get the 2-category upgrade, you get a 50% reduced deposit, couple that with the $400 shipboard credit, then secondary air gateway waiver. All in all, it's the best value that's out there. And then we will throw one last promotion at you, which was one of those ones I always like to say when Mark just kind of pulls my arm and always wants to get a little something extra. He has his way about doing that. And of course, I oblige. And so we were able to throw in a little something else that we'll share with you after we go through the value comparison. So you want to talk to this, Mark, or would you like me to?
Well, let me just do this a second, because, you know, for 32 years, we've been explaining to people the differences between the cruise lines. And there are some very, very big differences. Part of the differences you experience on board with the quality of food, with the quality of service, with the room sizes, you know, these things. But other things, you have to really just kind of know what the values are. So let's look through that. If you add that round trip business class air into that cruise that's cost $13,599, you compare it to a luxury cruise line, you know, that looks like they're almost half the price, or they're about $7,500. Well, it's not really. And then look over to the far right, and then I'm going to go down instead of across. The premium cruise lines, which maybe they're the Holland Americas, the Celebrities, the line like that you hear about. They look pretty price reasonable, don't they, when you just see the starting price to get on to the ship on a per person basis. If we're averaging a 12 night, and then look at the capacity up above. If Regent 7 Seas Splendor has 750 people and just an average of the luxury cruise lines. Jared's got 684, but I bet an average would probably be of what we sell, a little bit higher than that as far as capacity. But look at the premium cruise lines. Average capacity is, 2,800, almost 2,900 people, and in many cases, it's going to be more than that. So you look at the average of square footage of the suite sizes you get, and you know what? Regent wins out. Then you go down, so when we're working on the price you pay when you get off the ship, round trip business class air is included, as you see, with Regent. It's not with almost any other line outside of that luxury category that Regent's in. Ground transportation, a lot of times this is where they never talk about it, but a lot of the other lines add on to what that will be. And in Europe, it can be a sizable expense, especially if they're private luxury ground transfers, which Regent does. Shore excursions, oh my gosh. I personally think, Jared, in this example, are for a 12-day cruise to, say, the Baltic Seas is very, very, I think you're way too conservative on this. Way too. I've done it before. We did the gosh, 25 years ago when we did the Baltic Sea. It was on a premium cruise. Actually, it was on a mass market cruise line, and I know we spent, gosh, probably $1,500 to $1,800 on tours. So you know the type of person you are, and that's just an average, but it doesn't matter with Regent. They're included, so you don't. And how many times are you a little bit tired and you'd rather, take it easy in the afternoon, but you think, man, I've already paid for that tour, so I better go on it. Well, in this case, you don't have to. It's not costing you anything. You did pay for it. You just paid way ahead of time for it. Wi-Fi. A lot of times, believe it or not, some of these other cruise lines want to charge you for Wi-Fi, and there is a cost to them to have it, of course, but when it's included, it's just that much better. But look at gratuities, and I personally think these gratuities are very, very conservative for your friendly competitors, Jared. So I think you're being very kind to them. I know your sister company, Oceania, you're being very kind to Oceania and some of the others, but I know a lot of people that have tipped double, triple that on a 12-night cruise. Bar drinks and wine, think about this. I agree. Nicole and I were talking before. Some of the cruise lines do allow beer and wine. Maybe it's beer and wine at lunch or dinner. Maybe it's beer and wine anytime. Maybe it's some spirits. Each cruise line is different. That's why our job is to help you. If you're a Scotch drinker, we need to, 2-3 scotches a night or more. We better help you with the line that will include those. So, but $68 and $795 again on the far right for the premium cruise lines. Depends on how much you drink, honestly, obviously, right? And what you drink, but that can be very, very conservative. Let's just use that. The alternate dining rooms, you all know that most all cruise lines have these special dining rooms, and they charge different amounts to eat in those special dining rooms. And honestly, they're fabulous. That's where you get maybe some of the best service because it's a smaller group of people. You get some of the better quality food on the other lines at these specialty dining rooms, and that's why they charge you extra. I can sure tell you this, I've spent well over that $79 that you see on the far right in alternate dining rooms on 12-day sailings where you go in and you have a fabulous experience and you want to go back. I mean, it's so good, especially like at the Prime 7, Jared. Oh my gosh, I'm from Kansas City. You know that some of the best beef in the world is here. You go on that Prime 7, you think, how can it be better than I get here in Kansas City? And then the government taxes and fees, we have to remember those too. And then I'll finish up and let Jared, he liked that comment. But government taxes and fees, that's a little bugaboo I have. I really wonder how much of that is they're paying the government and how much of that these other cruise lines are keeping for themselves. But one way or another, there are taxes and fees that have to be paid. And all Regent has done, and I love it, is said, okay, we're going to include it in our price. So when you're smart enough, when you look at the price that you see in the beginning, that's pretty much the price. you're going to have when you get off the ship. So look down on the very bottom where it says total cruise fare. With Regent, with this experience we're doing, $13,599. You're paying $1,133 per day. We call that the per diem, and that's a good way to measure things, if you will. That's what we do here at our company when we're counseling with our customers. So the luxury cruise lines, some of the other ones out there, and by the way, on this case, I forgot, Jared, you did average that in on a 10-day, 10-night sailing. So you get 2 nights less than what the Splendor has, and $13,131 or a per day cost or per diem cost, $1,313 per person. Okay, you go to the premium line on the far right. Look at that. Now I really want you to hone in on that. So the upfront price looked pretty doggone favorable, didn't it? At $5,732, right? Looked very, very favorable. But it's just mind-boggling. But this is true, and this is what the cruise lines want. That's their business model, and they hope you spend, and they plan on you spending a lot of money while you're on board. You pay double what the cruise cost you in the beginning with business class air and all the other things. And look at that. That boiled down to be $1,100 per person per day. I mean, think about it. So if you're, and this is why so many of our people, when they cruise Regent again and again and again and again, because they know what kind of value they are receiving for the amount of money they're spending. And then, the one thing you can't put on there that to me is a differentiator is the quality of food, the cuisine, and of course the quality of service. You saw earlier, I think, every one customer, there is 1.4 people on the ship to take care of you. That's pretty impressive. So, Jared, anyway, anything you want to add to that I might have missed?
Mark, you did a fantastic job explaining that, and I couldn't have done it better myself, to be completely honest. But that's back to your point. All of this. When you look at being nickel and dime throughout your cruise, and we talk about service, and when you talk about some people pay more to get off the ship than they did to get on the ship. And the other thing is, think about this. You have this wonderful vacation, you enjoy yourself, and then at the end of the day, the last experience or the last memory or the last takeaway that you have from this vacation is the big bill at the end, right? So it shows you how much you spent on your shore excursions, how much you drank, how much you ate, all of that all combines up at the end of your vacation, and that's your last memory, and that's your last takeaway. And, it's unfortunate sometimes, when you do it and you pay it all up front, it makes things a little bit easier to swallow at the end of the day, is what I always like to say. Someone once told me, they said, you only have to swallow once, at the beginning, when you make your first payment with Regent, and then you just get to relax and enjoy and indulge on your vacation without having to worry if, you want to buy that person a drink or this person a drink. The joke on Regent is, hey, don't worry, I'm buying this round. You're always up to buy someone a drink. You're always up to have that conversation and mix and mingle with everyone. So it's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it really is. And that, of course, is why we've picked Regent Seven Seas. We've already got several people that have never been on Regent before going with us, just for the fact that they wanted to travel with Mimi and I, they wanted to travel on a smaller luxury ship. I think the Splendor is going to blow us all away. And the one thing I am confident is when we get back home, people are going to say, I got my money's worth out of this trip and more. So anything else on that, Nicole? Is there another slide, or we
got right here? This is the last couple things.
You're saving the best.
Last couple items. Yep.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is basically this is a 12-night cruise. So the 12-night cruise that we have, if you book any of these categories, the deluxe veranda suites is what would be applicable for the Splendor, concierge, penthouse suite. So whatever category that you're paying for is where you're going to receive the discount. So you get the 2-category upgrade, you're berthed in an A. but you paid, you know, a C, so you'd get a C discount. Or if you paid a D and you got up to a penthouse B, you get the discount based off of the D rate. So you get $200, and this is per person savings. So this savings right here in this column is going to be applicable for the Royal Family trip. Obviously, if you book any other cruise with Cruise Holidays, you can certainly do that. We have cruises that are 30 nights and longer, you know, doing back-to-backs and things like that, whatever it is. But this discount would be applicable for the next 2 weeks. This is combinable with that 2-category upgrade promotion we talked about. It is combinable with the Royal Family trip and the group amenities. So we make sure that you mention this, the Cruise Holidays exclusive 2-week offer, so that we can get that discount applied for you as well. This is for new bookings made within the next 2 weeks, as I mentioned. The last item that I'll touch on is kind of what we talked about with the group itself and the benefits and the amenities, but to kind of bring it home just on other vacations that, you know, if you're not specifically looking at Royal Family, but you are looking at Alaska for next year, or the Caribbean or Asia, or wherever you want to go. I just want to focus and again, tell you the value and the partnership that we have with Cruise Holidays and the amenities and the benefits that we can pass along. We have what we call group or select sailings that we kind of chose together for them to give their clients a little bit of added value. And that's either going to become in a $400 shipboard credit or a secondary air gateway. On the Royal Family, we chose the secondary air gateway and the $400 because, you know, that was a trip that Mark and Mimi are hosting. It's a little bit special. Typically, it's one or the other. And then they belong to an affiliation of Travel Leaders Network. Travel Leaders Network also offers additional amenity. And so if it's combinable or on that select voyage, you'll receive that amenity as well. And in some cases, they have cocktail receptions or other little added value. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to show you was booking through Cruise Holidays Kansas City, the rates that they've already secured, the pricing is locked in, their amenity, their value is there to pass along to you, whether it's through Regent or through their affiliation with Travel Leaders Network. They're going to give you the best value overall for luxury cruising, the best group sales incentives that are out there. So again, make sure you consult with them. They're there to help. They're there to put you in the right vacation. And again, pass along the best amenities and the overall value to you as their loyal customer and our mutual client.
Well, Jared, I cannot say thank you enough for working with us. It's been a long time coming, but it will be here before we know it. And things are opening up right now. This is a very exciting time. And our goal, I don't think there's ever been a more important time to make a decision on whatever kind of vacation the consumer is looking for. Pick the people who are in the industry that care about you, that know what they're talking about, that have firsthand experience, that have the relationships with the vendors like we obviously have. You've seen that between Jared and I, and our companies have been partners for a long, long time in business, and we want to earn your business. There's so many things that are so fluid right now with policies. We'll make sure you have all the policies that are in place when you deposit, and the policies that are in place before we go. And the one other thing that Mimi and I always like to do before we leave, probably in July sometime, we'll have a document party. And I hope and pray that will be in person. I hope Jared will be able to come to that. And we will introduce you all to each other. Those of you that can make it, we will take pictures of everybody. And then we have a cheat sheet that we give to everybody, so you can start learning at least the face and the name of people. And they'll go, wow, how did they know me? I just met them a month ago at the document party. Well, everybody's going to have cheat sheets. We do that because we need the cheat sheets. Some people we don't know. And Mimi and I look so forward every year to this Royal Family trip. It gives us a chance to, you know, get away and slow down and really relax and enjoy and get to know your story. Everybody's got a story. And if you're interested, you can hear some of our stories because we've got a whole bunch of them too. And you know, we'll all talk. I don't know if you see the picture behind me here, but that's my grandkids right there, and my daughter and son-in-law and dogs. So we'll share all that. Over my head is the world map with pins in the 103 countries that I've been to, which will be 104 after I get done with this one. Up to the far left, this is kind of fun. Do a lot of you know that Mimi and I were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015? We're the 12th and 13th travel agents ever to be inducted. So, you know, we're very honored. This has been a great industry for us, a great career. And we plan on keeping this going. You know, everybody asks when I plan on retire. People ask Mimi when she plans on retiring. Well, what the heck do you do when you retire? You travel anyway, right? So why not keep doing this? I have no intentions of retiring anytime. You know, my staff will probably end up kicking me out someday or putting me on a portable chair or a wheelchair, push me out the door and say, don't come back. But I love this business. I love dealing with people. I love to learn about people's stories, and that you know, sharing memories together is a big deal. And any of you that are watching this now and that you've gone on a trip with me, and I know that's the case, because you know, I see a lot of times. I took a group to China, and we went up the Great Wall of China. And every time I see a picture of the Great Wall of China on TV or on a movie or something, I'll text some of the people that were with me there and say, "Oh, remember when we did that? That was so fun." So we'll have a lot of the same memories. We'll have a lot of the same shared memories on this trip. So I really invite you, on behalf of Maybe Now, we invite you to go with us. I promise you a trip of a lifetime. And you know what? You deserve it. You've saved some money over the past couple of years, at least on vacations. Let's go ahead and spend some of your kids' inheritance. We're sure doing that. So, hey, anyway, thank you very much for joining us today. Jared, thank you. You've been a great partner. We appreciate all the inclusions that you've said yes to for our clients to join us on this Royal Family. This is not something, I promise you, you're going to get hardly any other time. So thank you, Jared, very much. You've been a great partner and friend.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to hosting the royal family on board the 7 Seas Splendor.
Well, you know, and we'll have a birthday party again for me. It'll be right after my birthday that ends with a 0. In 11 days from now, I have that birthday that ends in a 9. So we'll have a belated birthday party celebration too. Hey, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Give us a call at 816-505-1500 if you want a flyer sent to you. We can email it to you. You can also go to our website, cruiseholidayskc.com, cruiseholidayskc.com. Go to our groups page, and all the information is right there. But myself or Lynette Talge or your vacation counselor would be happy to go over anything that you want, answer any more questions, or help you find the category that you think is right for you. So thanks again, everybody. I sure appreciate it. Jared, take care.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.